Hey guys, Mega Man NG here, and we are back with another Gen 6 Wi-Fi battle. This is going to be my first battle that I'm going to be uploading in a higher quality, so I hope you guys like it. There will be a question of the day in the end, and today's opponent is against JJ. Yeah, I haven't fought this guy in a while, but I figured now is better than anywhere else. So, let's get this show on the road. Be warned though, because this battle was a long one, as you're about to see. I start off with my trusted Ferrothorn. He starts off with Porygon Z, and Porygon Z, he just makes a switch right away. JJ actually. JJ makes the switch right away, and he switches into Lucario. And it's a shiny Lucario at that. At least this gives me an opportunity to set up Stealth Rocks, which I do so. Stealth Rocks are set up, everything's ready, so I have to make a switch because I know I'm predicting close combat. So I go into my Electivire, hoping to, tackle anything he brings out, and he actually does go for the close combat. Electivire does survive thanks to the Focus Sash, and unfortunately I don't even get a chance to attack at all, which is kind of sad, since Lucario goes in with an Extreme Speed, taking it out. Extreme Speed is a first strike priority move that just dishes out damage, perfectly useful if you pull off a full power attack. Anyway, I go into my Arcanine, and he actually makes a switch because close combat has a defense and special defense drop, so yeah. And he sends in the Wash Rotom, and the Wash Rotom is one of these Pokemon that literally gives me trouble. Not to mention, it's heavily defensive too. So I go for a close combat myself, and I do like more than half damage to it. That, and I lose some HP because of Life Orb. I have to make a switch because I was predicting Hydro Pump, since Wash Rotom has a signature move, but it is Hydro Pump. I go into Chansey, and he actually does go for the Hydro Pump. The Hydro Pump doesn't really do much, since my Chansey is very bulky, can withstand a lot of punishment and everything, and above all else, it's nice. He goes now for a Confuse Ray, and I'm thinking, this guy really wants to, troll me and prevent me from attacking. So I take my chances and try to do a move, but sadly, it attacks itself. I only suffer 5 damage, so I'm not complaining with that. He goes for the Will-O-Wisp, and that fails. So I try again, and this time I actually succeed with a Toxic. The Toxic puts him in a badly poisoned state, and it's a perfect opportunity for me to strike back. I have to strike back after all because, well, I really can't find the right words for it. So he actually instead goes for a Volt Switch, and the Volt Switch doesn't do much damage. But I noticed that he actually regained health by Shell Bell. I thought he actually would have leftovers on Rotom. Guess I was proven wrong. He actually now sends in Porygon Z, and Porygon Z is a beast in the special attacking department. I try again one more, and I was able to withstand the confusion and pull a Seismic Toss. Seismic Toss does about 50 damage since it's based off the level. Now he decides to go in for a Hyper Beam, and damn, the animation looks pretty smooth for that, and with some Gen 1 nostalgia. I survive the attack, and I pull another Seismic Toss, which does another 50 damage. Due to Hyper Beam, he can't attack next turn, which means it gives me a free turn to do what I please, so I'm going to make a switch while I do so, and I bring in my Ferrothorn. My guess just to set up more entry hazards, and maybe to withstand anything this guy dishes at me. He goes for the Recover, and he recovers more than half health, basically more than 1/2 of the Seismic Toss that I delivered to him. I decided to go for a Spikes because I need to set up more hazards so I can dish in more pain. 3 Spikes would guarantee 25% damage into any Pokemon that steps in. And he goes for a Tri-Attack, which wasn't that effective. I set up another layer of Spikes, that makes 2. And if I add in one more, then I know I'm really going to have a big advantage. He goes for an Ice Beam, and I don't really know what he was thinking when he did that. He wondered if it was going to work or not. So I decided to go for a Gyro Ball, and since Porygon Z is faster, I was able to do some damage. But sadly that doesn't work, and he goes for the Recover, and the Recover has him recovering more health. I go try again with another Gyro Ball, hoping that it could work, and it does so. But knowing him, he's probably going to keep on going until I run out of Gyro Ball. Yeah, Gyro Ball has 5 uses, and after those 5 uses, it's pretty much useless. This is actually now my 3rd use. I use another Gyro Ball to do it, and it still didn't work either. So I'm believing that this is getting pointless. So I make a switch, and I send in my Alakazam. Yeah, I have to step it up once now, every now and then. And he goes for the Ice Beam, and the Ice Beam didn't really do much. It did more than half. So I'm not going to fool around by this point. I'm just going to Mega Evolve it into Mega Alakazam and just bring on the pain from there. Yeah. Now that he's Mega Evolved in Mega Alakazam, it can trace, and it turns out it actually has adaptability. And this got me thinking. Adaptability with a Stab Psychic equals more damage, and it takes out Porygon Z. Very smart for Mega Alakazam, because he can actually, like, predict out what he'll do next. He sends in his Jellicent, and this Jellicent must be a tank. Though I don't think it's going to matter much, since I've already set up Stealth Rocks and Spikes. I go instead now for the Dazzling Gleam, and the Dazzling Gleam didn't really do much. That and Cursed Body automatically disables it, so that sucks. What sucks even more is that he got hit by a Shadow Ball and gets taken down. Yeah, that was a bad move on my part. So I decide to now go for a Greninja. I send in my Greninja and I go for the Grass Knot. Thanks to Protean, it turns into a Grass type. And I'm thinking that since Jellicent's kind of heavy, it actually does more damage. And it does so. And Jellicent gets taken down. Guess I was proven wrong on tanking and stuff like that. Now he sends in Phoenix, the Talonflame, and you know right off the bat that when you have Stealth Rocks on the opponent's side and he summons a Pokemon like that, this guy's pretty much done. I sent in my Chansey, and he actually goes for the Acrobatics. I thought he was going to go for the Brave Bird instead, but guess not. So he actually goes instead for another Acrobatics and takes down my Chansey. For a minute, I thought he was just going to use Brave Bird, but Brave Bird does have a big risk. The big risk is that he could suffer recoil damage. That, and since I already have, like, Stealth Rocks in, he just suffered, like, 50% damage. He goes now for the Flare Blitz, and that takes down my Ferrothorn. I only needed it just so I can take it down, so it can die, more or less. And thanks to the fact that it suffers a load of recoil, yeah, that thing isn't going to last long. Plus, my Ferrothorn's dead, and look at it, he doesn't even have that much health left. So all that remains is just summoning an Arcanine, and I need to do something to take that thing down before giving me. And now he decides to use Brave Bird. I'm thinking this thing may have Gale Wings or something like that, because if it does, that could basically explain why he was able to take me out that quickly. So he goes in for the Brave Bird. He doesn't take down my Arcanine, sadly. However, I was able to survive. I should have went for the Morning Sun instead. And now he sends in his shiny Lucario. And I'm thinking, this thing must be Mega. Because most Lucarios I always see always have Mega Evolutions. They always do. I go for a Flare Blitz, and it turns out it doesn't. And plus, it's not even faster than it. I'm like, what's going on? I go for the Flare Blitz. I take down his Lucario. He doesn't really need to do anything. Though I wonder to myself if that thing had, like, Focus Sash or something. Not that it matters, because my Arcanine goes down due to heavy recoil. Flare Blitz, recoil, and Life Orb recoil. Yeah, that sucks, but what can you do? Okay, Greninja returns to the battlefield, and he sends in Rotom once again. Too bad it's badly poisoned, and that's not going to really make much difference. Oh, yeah. So now I send in Grass Knot, and the Grass Knot does a load of damage. And it does, and it takes down it. Yeah, it takes down Rotom, so yeah. Yeah, I already had everything set up for it just to be safe, so I'm prepared. And now he sends in his own Greninja. Yeah, now we're at the point, we're at the battle of the Greninjas. One Greninja is at full health, the other Greninja, for better or worse, is already suffered damage due to the halves it's already put in a while back. I go for a Dark Pulse, and the Dark Pulse wasn't that effective. He actually goes for an Ice Beam, and even that doesn't work. It's more or less a stare down between two different Pokemon of the same caliber. Both of them have Protean, which means if I end up making one mistake, it's going to cost me big. I actually go for the Grass Knot, and surprisingly, he actually survives. He now decides to go for a U-turn, and the U-turn does a boatload of damage, and it takes it down. Ugh. That was my mistake. I should have went for the Surf instead. So it was a really close battle. Thank you so much for the battle, JJ. I really do appreciate it. If he has a YouTube channel, please let me know in the description so I can update it right away. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. And today's question of the day is, what's your favorite Mega Evolution? My favorite Mega Evolution is Mega Alakazam because it has Trace. And if it goes up against a Pokemon like a Sharpedo, it can take advantage of Trace. And then, believe it or not, can obtain Speed Boost. And it will be a devastating threat. Though I hope to hear what you guys think. That'll be it. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Peace.